Hi, everyone.
Hello. Oh, hi, Joe. Hi, Kate. Oh, Kate, I'm so happy to finally see you in in our hangouts.
Stefania, hello, hello. We have a bunch of other people here. Hi, Kathleen. Happy lunchtime.
Oh, yes, happy lunchtime indeed. What's for lunch, Bethany? Did you eat yet?
Not yet. I did have a cupcake. Our neighbor had extra vegan cupcakes that she got, so she brought some over. Um,
Where do you live where your neighbor's like, hello, I've made some extra vegan cupcakes?
we see her when we walk in the morning.
Mm,
She's usually walking her dog, and we've become friends. And Dennis did some photo shoot for them, so we are now on like friendly terms. She gave me a hug, so yeah, she's just like,
that's amazing.
I have these spare cupcakes, so I had a cupcake for lunch, which is as far as I've gotten. How about you?
Ah, well, I don't know if I'll eat it because I'm not super hungry, but I have some Siggy's yogurt.
Delicious Icelandic
Okay.
skyr, right?
Yes, vanilla cinnamon, and um, I packed up for backup.
Mm,
I've got some. I'm like very into paleo, like granola. You
I've
know?
never had that.
There's like coconut chips and chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, and then I've got my chia seeds, which I travel
Amazing.
everywhere with.
So
Yeah.
where are you? Because you are in front of it looks like several Billy bookcases.
Yes, so I am at Kathleen Can Do It headquarters today. And hang on, I'm
Gotcha.
going to turn my computer around for a sec. Say hi, other Kathleen.
Hello.
um,
Amazing.
yeah, so we are, doing the Lord's work over here, just designing wallpaper with tomatoes on it because we're both from New Jersey.
This is You are doing the Lord's work. I know many people who would use tomato wallpaper. So growing up, I actually
Yes.
got like happy feelings when you said tomato wallpaper because my grandmother used to have this old like 1950s wallpaper that was brown. It was like brown chickens,
Yeah.
like oversized, cartoonish, like two fat chickens, like
Yeah.
in browns and yellows. And then it also had splashes of red tomatoes. And that was like it wasn't wallpaper, it was shelf lining paper.
Oh,
Do you remember when like
cool.
shelf lining paper was all the rage? And I don't know, the
Hmm.
50s through the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
So it was awesome. And so tomatoes on like any sort of wall or shelf product makes me happy.
Well, I was in a hotel in Palm Springs a couple years ago where there was like this amazing wallpaper that was just oranges, like
Oh, wow.
just an orange cut in half.
Oh, that
And
sounds
the
lovely.
like it the to design it, it's the easiest design ever because it's just like a repeat of one half
Yeah.
orange.
Yeah.
And I just like ever since have had this desire because do you know that the state fruit of New Jersey is the tomato?
Wait, I did not know that.
Wait, I may be lying. Hang on. Let me do like a quick fact check. Wait,
No,
and
I mean, I
our
believe
state
it.
fruit. Um, okay,
As you're
never mind.
looking, oh, it's
Our state
not?
fruit is the blueberry, but I don't know. There's something with tomatoes in New Jersey. I don't know.
I don't know either. So
Yeah.
while I wonder if I can show you guys what's going on outside. So while I am doing this live show, can you
Yeah.
see let's see if we can do this. Can you see my flock out there?
Oh, yes. This is so exciting, Bethany. Oh, hi, Minerva.
I don't
Yeah,
know if you
look at
can.
all your birds.
They mostly flew away when I think they heard me knocking on the window, but the whole the my flock is getting bigger. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Samantha, the snow is gone. It's almost all completely melted away,
Yeah.
which is super sad. But there was a huge flock of red-winged blackbirds that were nesting in a tree in our front yard. If you go to my Instagram story, I
Yeah.
have them in there. They were so loud I could hear them from like half a block away. I got into my house and they were like screaming. And apparently they're back now for
for
spring.
for the springtime. Oh, that's right. You're going to
Um,
start seeing lots of new birds.
yeah, I'm so excited. So, yeah,
Yeah.
my flock is getting bigger.
Have you seen that bird feeder that's really popular on Instagram right now where you know how like you put an air conditioner into the window and you
Yes.
close. Okay, so there's a
Yeah.
bird feeder where it's like this clear plastic thing with like protection outlining it, and it's a mechanism that you put into the window the same way you put an air conditioner, except there's a plastic I don't know, cave, and it
Yeah.
comes into your house, and so you put bird seed in the cave, so then it's almost like the birds are in your house and
It's
you
like a
get to see them up
reverse.
close.
It's so cool. It's like a
Yeah.
reverse bay window. It's like a
It
bay
is. It
window
is.
first.
Yeah, that's a much
Yeah.
better way to describe it. And
I
I
mean,
was
I think,
like,
would your
how
cats
much is
lose
that?
their mind? Yeah, I know, me too.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
my cat would probably freak
Yeah.
out because she hates
Yeah.
everything right now.
So I have windows that open like this, or else I would totally get it.
Oh my
Like
gosh, yeah.
the people who lived there before us left this bird feeder that you can put suction cups outside the window. But
Cool.
because we live like a couple stories up, I'm afraid, and they used to have it out there, and I
Hmm.
had it out there for a couple of months, but because we live like a couple stories up, I'm always afraid that it's going to fall and then kill
Yeah.
somebody.
Yes, absolutely. Like, and probably not from the second floor, but my brain would go to the same place where it's like it's
Yeah.
the freak accident where
Hmm.
you have just enough bird seed in it that
Yeah.
the the like velocity it hits from 2 stories is just enough to like
Yeah.
concuss someone.
Yeah.
So that's where my brain goes.
Oh.
Kathleen, I have to
Hmm.
ask you how you're doing
Yeah.
because your best friend Gwyneth Paltrow has been
Oh,
sort of dragged through the mud as of late. Did you know about
wait,
this?
Bethany, I've been so out of it. No. What happened?
So
What's going on with GP?
here's what's going on with GP. So she did a podcast interview,
Mm-hmm.
and she was talking about her tips for healthy living. And one of them was get these super expensive IV drips like every day. And like two different, like I had never even heard of the chemical compounds of the IVs. And she looked incredibly ill. And so
Oh
people are calling her like the
no.
queen almond mom, like just I don't know. Anyway, so she's sort of being dragged, not for anything new, but just for like being
Yeah.
so profoundly out of touch and also
Oh.
looking really sick when she's talking about how healthy she is.
Getting okay, IV drips every day. You know what? By the way, I turned my mic up for anybody who said that it looks like, or it sounds like my mic is kind of low.
Yeah, I think because you're like with another person, you're talking kind of quietly. I think
Oh,
that's
oh,
why.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm
No, that's
sorry.
okay.
Kathleen, I'm just going to talk at regular volume, okay? It's not, it's like, I don't care about talking loud in front of Kathleen. It's just because there's architects underneath us, and they
Uh-oh.
truly are doing the Lord's work. So,
Yeah, making those architecture
yeah.
things.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes. Yeah, I turned it up. Okay. So, I still love GP, but I am more attuned now to ridiculous privilege than
yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
was when I first just like devoted my love to her
Of
back
course.
in 2013.
We were all so different and young.
You're also different and young. But you know what? Like the joke is on us because she was getting the same criticism back then when she started up Goop,
Yeah.
and she turned it into a multi-million-dollar
Oh,
business.
for sure. I'm
Like,
like,
yeah.
I think, live your life. If
Yeah.
you have that kind of money, absolutely get IV drips every single day if it makes you feel good. I think
Yeah.
where it becomes a problem is when you're giving advice on how other people can be healthy. Like,
I
well,
know.
maybe not, but
It's like, okay, Gwyneth Paltrow, can you just like go back to pushing us to soaking our almonds in water? Because almonds are something that people can actually afford.
I was watching, what was I watching? The other night we were watching Seven,
Oh,
the movie
yes.
Seven that she's in. And I was like, God, she was so charming. In that
Mm,
movie, she's so charming. Have you seen
I know.
Seven, Kathleen?
I have, but I have that thing where I don't remember
Yeah,
movies.
I have the
Yeah.
same problem. Um,
Yeah.
she's just so profoundly likable and human and sweet. And I was like, oh, it's such a shame that she sort of walked away from acting because she's really good. She's great at it.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about when she won the Oscar,
Hmm.
and she didn't really do any serious roles after.
Not a
It's kind of
ton.
like she proved her worth, and then she got married and she had her kids and she started putting out her cookbooks. And then she was in the Marvel movies.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, just there ever so slightly. She's like just a secondary background character.
Yeah.
And she kind of never did any serious acting ever again after Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah, not that I mean, I'm sure she's done a few. Norma said
Yeah.
one of the first movies I saw her in was Shallow Hal.
Yeah, very
Oof.
problematic.
Oof. Duh. I was just listening to we're the PR podcast for Maintenance Phase.
Oh,
And I
we
was
love
listening
Maintenance Phase.
I was listening to their Shallow Hal slash Fat Suits episodes.
Yes.
And
Oh, on their
oof.
Patreon, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I accidentally subscribed to like their Apple, you can subscribe and get like the same benefits.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I accidentally subscribed. And so all of a sudden these episodes came up and I started listening and I was like, that
Yeah.
Shallow Hal is rough. I've never seen it, but apparently it's not great.
I mean, I remember it. Oh, you want to hear something crazy that I learned? I
Yeah.
don't know why I think this is so crazy. But was Jack Black in Shallow Hal?
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
played the titular Hal.
The titular. Uh, Jack Black. I sent this message to my girlfriends yesterday, or this screenshot rather. Jack Black and Kathy Griffin used to date. Look at that.
What?
I know it's I'm not getting like a super clear
No, 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 but
picture.
it's evident who they are.
Isn't that
What a
crazy?
strange couple. It makes sense. They were probably both in the comedy scene.
Makes a lot of sense.
That's wild. It really does show you like the people you meet in your industry when you're young.
Yep.
Don't count them out because they might be continuing to be in your industry when you're older. Like that's nuts.
Speaking of your grandmother's wallpaper, Bethany, I just got back from Asheville, North Carolina.
Yes.
Has anybody in the chat ever been there? Because I have never seen a more well designed city in my entire life. Every business, even if it's just like an auto body shop,
Yeah.
every business, the font is so well chosen, and the logos and the storefronts, and there's all these murals everywhere. Like, you sit down and you open up a menu, and the menu is like the most beautifully designed thing that you've ever seen. And
Huh.
everywhere you go in the whole city, like storefronts and signs and just like everything is so well designed. It is a gemstone of a city that I never really gave thought to until like at the last second. Neil was like, let's go somewhere. We haven't been, like, we literally have not been anywhere together alone in a long time. And he picked Asheville because there's a lot of beer there.
Okay, cool.
And I just like, what a really cool city. When you travel places, Bethany, do you ever ask yourself, could I live here?
Oh, I think, yeah, all the time. All the
And
time.
basically 99% of the time, the answer I give is no.
Yeah.
Asheville, I could 100% live there.
I could see you living in Asheville. Absolutely.
It's like Brooklyn and Austin had a baby.
I wonder, like, did Asheville recently have like a renaissance where all of these new businesses opened and were then all hyper focused on their look, or what's going on with their amazing aesthetic? I wonder why
I
that
think
is.
I think it's been like in the last 10 years that there's been like an uprise of really good food too. Are you familiar what a James Beard Award is?
Yeah.
So there are a bunch of James Beard recognized restaurants in Asheville.
That's
So it's like it's a food destination too.
Kate is asking if you went to the Biltmore.
No, we didn't. To get in, it's $69 a person for a day
Is
ticket.
What is it a museum? What is it?
It's the largest residential building, like single family residential building in America. It's like a castle that a rich
Oh.
bachelor built, and
Okay.
there's a lot of old stuff to see and walk around. But I wanted to do some hiking in the mountains, so we did that instead.
It was the former residency of the Vanderbilt family, all made
Hmm.
out of limestone. I
It's
wonder if
supposed to
it's
be amazing.
haunted. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
All that
Oh,
limestone?
it for sure is haunted, 100%. But I wanted to show you this, and I'll pull up a picture. I was in a restaurant where the wallpaper was sexy root vegetables. Wait, look at, I don't know if you can tell, if you can see,
Oh
but
my
it's like,
gosh.
they all have ladies' butts.
Yeah. Look at that. They're all different body types. I like that.
There's a turnip, there's a carrot, there's a radish,
That
there's all
carrot
sorts of
ass
stuff.
is
Yeah,
perky.
I know.
Molly
It's
said if anyone goes to Asheville, definitely drive on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Did you do that?
Yeah. I did part of the Blue Ridge Parkway in lieu of the Vanderbilt or the Blitmore mansion, but really cool city, like a great 3-day weekend destination.
Okay, I'm on AshevilleTerrors.com.
Oh, okay, cool.
Many past visitors and even staff members have told stories of the hearing of a voice whispering the name George repeatedly in the hallways. It is believed that the spirit of Edith Vanderbilt herself is wandering the halls and possibly searching for her husband. Girl, don't search. You know what? You can't find him. It's fine. Live
Say
your
peace
life.
out.
At night, some of the people working the grounds had heard sounds of laughter, glasses clinking, and party like chatter. Their only problem is that no one is throwing a party.
It's supposed to be amazing. I just didn't have time this time around.
I think next time you have to go, maybe do a ghost tour. Most of the visitors reported seeing spirits going up. Most of the visitors had reported seeing spirits going up or down the stairs.
Stefania wants to know if I had good BBQ and I was there. Actually, Stefania, I didn't. I wanted to try some of the other things that they had there. Bethany, it is a vegan food mecca.
Really?
Vegan food mecca. Everywhere
God
you go,
bless.
there are vegan options. Really cool. So no, but I had amazing Indian street food there.
Oh my God, what did you have?
Oh, we had they were vegetarian, not vegan, but it's a James Beard recognized restaurant called Chai Pani, and it was like tiny little potato puffs
Oh,
that
God
were like
bless.
air fried, and then there was cheese and like potato filling and spices and yogurt. Oh, when anything
Oh,
has yogurt on top,
I'm so
forget it.
happy.
When vegetables have yogurt on top, like
Yeah,
savory yogurt on top of them,
yep. I'm
forget
in.
it. I'm 100% ordering that,
I'm
carrots, whatever.
totally in.
And we were eating something because it was like all small plates, and the waitress puts it down on the table and she's like, "Stop what you're doing. You have about 2 minutes until these things are past their prime. Eat them now."
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Oh,
Now I want
so
Indian
good.
food. Brianna said we did a bus ghost tour there. It was fun. Got to learn about some
Oh,
interesting history. I feel like doing specifically doing ghost tours at places is so fun because you and I did a ghost tour in Chicago
yeah.
together.
You learn about the history.
You learn so much about the history, and sometimes it's about the history that maybe other other people involved with the city don't necessarily want you to know about. So like you learn
Yeah.
about the darker history of the town and maybe some not so great stuff was happening and then maybe there was like a fire that maybe
Yeah.
lit, an entire ship on fire and then a lot of people died. It was Lauren had the best ghost tour in New Orleans. Oh, I bet you
Yes.
did.
I did that in New Orleans too. And you get to drink on the tour. So I was
Of
like, I get to
course you did.
drink and people get to tell us cool, scary stories. Of course, I want to go on this ghost tour.
Would you Okay, here's a question for you, Kathleen, and in the chat.
Yeah.
If you were to be a tour guide, because I think it'd be fun to be a tour guide for these
Yeah.
kinds of things. What either place or like type of thing would you want to be a tour guide for? Because I
I
would
think
definitely want to do ghost tours, except the problem is that they are at night and I like to sleep.
I would like to be a tour guide at Floor and Decor.
What, Kathleen, what would be the highlights of your tour? What areas would you showcase?
Well, I really like the mosaics,
Sure, yep. Mm-hmm.
but I also like all of the different collections of hexagonal floor tile.
Uh-huh. 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 Now, if someone were to ask you, um, what is the more in floor tile and more? What would
No,
your
floor.
answer
No, it's
be?
decor. It's
Oh,
decor.
floor tile and
Oh,
decor?
oh no, no, wait, hang on. Oh, is that their byline? Floor, tile, and more.
I don't remember. I don't
I don't know.
know.
Well, I mean,
Anyway.
and the and more is Bethany. That every design style is at your fingertips at Floor and Decor.
See, you sold me. Such a good tour guide.
I know.
Becky, definitely a food tour guide. Yep, that's a good one. Kate said, I would love to be a Jack the Ripper tour guide. The other would be a haunted bookstore,
Oh,
of course. Yes, your store is a haunted 1,000%. Kate, oh my God. Disney tour guide, absolutely.
Disney tour guide. Okay.
Literary stuff, says Carrie. Hi, Carrie. Where authors lived, where they wrote books, where they got inspiration from. Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
cool. That'd be cool.
Bethany, since you can't do a nighttime tour, you have to pick one. What would be the one that you would do? Oh, Stefania said I'd be a great tour guide at Target.
Oh my gosh, yes. I think if I still lived in New York City,
Yeah.
I would be a tour guide of available public restrooms because
Oh.
that is a hard thing to find. And once you find them, it's important that you remember them.
Yeah.
Like, I know you and I publicly lamented the end of Pearl River Mart in
Yeah.
Soho because you could no longer use their public restroom. But I know
Yeah.
there's a J. Crew on Fifth where if you ask, they definitely have a restroom.
Yeah. And the Crate and Barrel on the corner of Houston and
Whatever that is.
yeah, something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The one that's by the movie
Broadway.
theater. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was, yeah, Laura, definitely. Like it, oh, there's a website for that?
yeah. Oh, if anybody wants the bathroom code to the Chopped in the bottom of the Empire State Building, it's 54231.
Great. 54231.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, the Barnes and Noble. There's definitely a Barnes and Noble, Union Square. And there's also a bathroom at the Strand, the bookstore, but the line is
Yes.
sometimes pretty long because it's just one tiny bathroom and there's maybe 2 stalls in it.
If you and Dennis ever get married, it has to be at the Strand.
That'd be amazing. It would, yeah, I would love to get married in the Rare Books room. I don't know if it's even open anymore, the Rare Books room.
Oh, okay. The problem with bookstores is that they always make you want to poop. Yes.
They do.
Yes, they do.
They do.
Kate would know that. Kate works in a bookstore. Kate, do you just have constant diarrhea?
And also, Kate, how do you know your bookstore is haunted? I need stories. Lauren said you can do ghost tours during the day. Okay, well then I would love. There's a haunted
Yeah.
hotel in my city now.
Really?
Yeah. Before we moved here, we just were like, "Is anything haunted?" And there's a hotel that's profoundly haunted. Apparently.
Ooh, I'm trying. When does that new M. Night Shyamalan movie come out? It looks.
It's out.
Wait, what is it called?
Knock at the Cabin.
New. Yes, yes, yes. New M. Night Shyamalan movie. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
that. Oh, it's out
out.
already.
Yeah, it's out.
Has anybody seen it? Knock at the Cabin.
Anyone have any of you seen it? We'd like to know.
Did
Hey.
anybody watch the Oscars? I am still so happy for Brendan Fraser.
I know. Speaking of fat suits, I would really love to hear Maintenance Phase talk about
Yeah.
their feelings on that. Because I think I haven't seen it because it's gonna make me feel too big feelings. But it sounds like the portrayal is such an empathetic portrayal.
Yeah, it's totally different than Shallow Hal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I too, I'm very happy for him. He
Yeah.
seems like such a nice guy.
I
It's
know.
well deserved. The Mummy movies are, they slap. He
I
deserves the best.
I was going back and looking at pictures of him during the height of his previous fame, and I was like,
Yeah.
why did I not appreciate this man for everything that he offered?
We were all sleeping on Brendan Fraser. Like
We were all sleeping on him.
we didn't understand what we had.
I know.
We took it for granted. It's like when you're
We did.
first, like when I was in college, my first boyfriend was so sweet, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't appreciate it at the time because I didn't know how mean people could be, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how we were about Brendan Fraser. We just didn't understand what we had.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I had
Savannah,
us.
the Mummy
I
is
yeah.
char AF. I agree.
Ah.
Sorry to cut you off, Kathleen. What were you
No,
going to
no, no,
say?
no. Please. I was just reading Lauren's comment. Uh, our main classroom building was a hotel in the 1800s.
Oh,
Speaking of the 1800s,
yeah.
can I do a farmhouse update?
I would love.
Okay. So we put in an offer,
Uh huh.
and they came back and said that our offer was so low that they didn't even want to respond.
What? How much lower than asking price was it?
Okay. So here's the thing, their asking price was ridiculous for what the property was,
Yeah.
because I did the math, and because they had a bathroom that like was never permitted, so they were trying to sell the house as like two bathrooms, but it was really one.
Oh
And
man.
it's a hoarder property, so it would be like a huge major cleanup to take
Yeah.
out. It's not just like personal items where I could put stuff in trash bags or donate it. It's like rusted out cars
Oh
and
gosh.
radiators and like farm tools and stuff. And so I listed like everything that would need to be done to just make the house like bottom line livable, like
Yeah.
not even nice. And that's what we based our offer on. And I think that they're listing it at a price because there's like a lot of emotional attachment to this property.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of
Yeah.
like what you say about selling things on Etsy. Like, yes, your shell chandelier did take you 1,000 hours to make, but like that's the value to you. What's the value
Yeah.
to somebody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was gonna say that's what it seems, or
Mm-hmm.
they're taking the value of like the house's potential of
Yeah.
like, look how good these bones are. You
Mm-hmm.
should be paying top dollar for these bones.
Yes. And so we, made the offer, and they're like, it's so low, we can't even come back. But I'm the first offer that they've had in 6 months
Yeah.
because I
Okay.
see the potential, but it's also like, there's just going to be so much work. And there's like no appliances that come with the house either. So anyway, I am waiting on it
Okay.
because a friend told me a story about how their sister offered money on a house and the same thing happened. The people were
Okay.
like, we're not even going to respond. Like, this offer is just insultingly low. And then a whole year later, they came back and they were like, okay, let's talk.
Oh, interesting. It's like you have to leave if you're like at an antique store where
Yeah.
you want to barter, you just
Yeah.
have to leave, and then they'll be like, "No, wait."
Yeah. Yeah.
Savannah said if they're hoarders, they probably don't really want to sell it.
Yes.
And then there was
Yeah.
one comment. Oh, I think Lauren asked, yeah, did you share the issues with them? Like, here's
Yeah, I
why.
did. Yeah. And I said that
Interesting.
we would take the house as is, like we
Mm-hmm.
would clean it out. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking like we offered so low because this is a clean out where you hire a company to do it and it's going to cost $25,000.
Oh my God.
Like that is how much stuff needs to be cleaned out. Like it costs a lot of money to rent a dumpster and then to have a company come in and like put shit in that dumpster. And
Uh-huh.
so I took that all off, like out
Yeah.
of the offer. So we'll see, we will see. because they can't clean it out themselves, and they're going to find that it's
No.
going to be so expensive for them to have other people do it, if they can even bear to do that while they still are in possession of the property. You know what I mean?
What a frustrating situation to be in,
Yeah.
where like you you know you need to make money from this house, but no one's going to pay you what you need to be paid. But
Mm-hmm.
also maybe you can't afford to clean it out and get it ready. Like that,
I
it
know.
just, what a mess.
I know. I do. I feel for them. Stefania said there is a house we looked at last year that had awful drainage in the yard. It was like a lake in the yard after it
Oh,
rained. The place was full of mosquitoes, but I wanted to just watch it. The price dropped after we looked, but I noticed at the beginning of the year it increased 100K. Like they can only sell when it's not raining in Florida.
oh, yeah. They want to make sure that you don't realize. It's
Yep.
so,
Yep.
man, it's like when we moved here, I was like, we wished we could buy it and we really love this house. But
Mm-hmm.
then after a couple months, we realized the water is all acid. It's like it's super
Mm-hmm.
acidic water and it eats through the pipes. We just had our second leak. And so
Oh
we feel like,
no.
and it's like a pinhole leak. It's not a big deal. The plumber
Mm-hmm.
came right away. Um, but basically he said that he's just going to have to keep coming back to our house, like
Yeah.
just to keep fixing the pipes. And like in our basement, part of the ceiling is just open so he can access the
Mm-hmm.
pipes. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we didn't buy it because
Mm-hmm.
it would have been tens of thousands of dollars to get rid of all of the copper piping in the house and replace it
Yep.
with plastic.
Yep. But
It's
then you could sell
crazy.
that copper.
That's true. We can make so much money. Savannah said, are they older? My dad and his siblings were forcing my grandma to sell her hoarder house because she couldn't even safely walk to the kitchen. Maybe that's the same
Yeah,
issue.
they are. They are. So,
Okay.
like, I'm sad, but I'm not heartbroken because I feel like things might come back around again. Do you know what I
Totally.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I also found this out. If you're going to make a lowball offer, you have to make sure that you get a pre-approval letter that like reflects that lowball offer, because if you're approved for, I don't know, say like $600,000, but you're going to make a lowball offer of like 150,
Yeah.
you don't want the seller to see that you're actually approved for $600,000. So get your pre-approval letter to say that you're
Oh.
approved for something much less.
Is that something you can ask the bank to do? Or is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
dishonest?
No, no, no. You can say, like, I don't want to spend more than $200,000 on this
Mm-hmm.
property. And then they will adjust the pre approval letter
Oh,
accordingly.
this is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Mm-hmm.
very interesting. Lauren said it'll come to a time when they just fully realize what they have going on and either they have to clean things up themselves or drop the price. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I know. So Bethany, um, now that you and Dennis know about acid water, if you ever want to
Yeah.
buy up where you live, like, is there a test kit that you can buy on
Yes.
Amazon?
Yes, there is. There's like little strips that you
Mm-hmm.
can buy to test, and then there's also like little drops you can put. You have to put drops in it, and
Mm-hmm.
then like test whatever. But that can
Yeah.
easily be done during a walkthrough.
Yes.
And
Yep.
so, I mean, and that's a great point because,
Mm-hmm. Like you could
yeah.
walk through someplace and just put a little water.
Hmm.
Also, like lead paint. You could bring like a little lead paint tester and
Yep.
just swipe the windowsill or something.
Just to see. And yeah, we're like nowhere near being ready or able to buy a house, but like it is good to know that up here a lot of these houses were built on like mines
Mm-hmm.
and stuff that and it affected the water and so
Wow.
I'm glad to know that. And it's like Stefania said, like it's like it's almost a shame you can't sort of keep an eye on a house for a full year and see how it
I know.
handles.
I
Like
know.
maybe it has like no insulation in the winter. It's going to be awful. You just don't know.
I had a friend who rented his apartment for like, I don't know, like 8 years. And then the owner was like, I'm going to sell it. And he's like, okay, I'll buy it. And at first I thought he was crazy because he knew what all the shortcomings were of the
Hmm.
place. But like also that's a positive. You know what
Mhm.
all the shortcomings are.
Yeah, you know exactly where all your stuff belongs. You know what you're going to
Yeah.
have to do. And you know, I think it's really funny how some houses and apartments you need to learn them. Like
Mm.
at my old apartment in the city, you had to learn like how to use the bathroom because and how to
Mm-hmm.
like keep the shower from collapsing in on itself and like all of these different tricks. And I always talk about it where my mom's old house where you had to learn that if you were using the internet, you couldn't run the microwave because the microwave would cut the internet off. So like all these little things you have to learn about a house. I think it's so charming, and after a while, you don't even notice them because you just adapt
Oh,
and they fit into your life. And
oh,
you know, he had already adapted for 8 years. He understood what was going on.
yeah. Wait, for everybody in the chat right now, what is something weird about where you live
Yeah,
that
totally.
nobody would know unless you live there?
Kate said, my building right now is like that. It's incredibly old, and there are things that happen that don't seem normal. I lost my heat randomly last weekend, and my neighbor said that was normal sometimes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. They have to put water in the broiler or whatever.
In the, yeah, in
The
the boiler,
the nope, in the furnace. There we
the
go.
furnace.
Mm-hmm.
Gail, I think it is safe to drink, maybe. We just, I don't know. I just put it through. There's a separate water faucet
Mm-hmm.
in the kitchen, so we just drink out of that one.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have very hard water in my apartment.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
and it is so hard that fungus spores in the air that just occur naturally in the air. When you have very hard water, they feast on places where water sits, like
Jeez.
in your toilet
Oh,
or
God.
like on your underneath your faucet where it's kind of like wet at
Yeah.
all times.
Yeah.
So this like black slimy stuff, which is not at all poisonous to humans, it just is like really gross. And my toilets get like black sludge inside my toilets. I'm
Oh, God.
constantly cleaning the toilet, and you know I'm not a person who cleans.
No, no, no.
Yeah, it's really nasty. Anyway,
Norma said our light switch in our guest room was somehow connected to the outlet in the kitchen where the microwave was plugged in, so it would turn it on and off. That's so crazy. That's so wild. Joe said it's national news, but this town can flood so badly that the president comes to visit.
yes, Joestown does flood. Let's see, Savannah. I live next to a house. I wish I had known how loud these elementary kids get at recess. Oh, you live
Oh,
next to a school.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't open my windows between the hours of 11 a.m. and 2 p.m.
Yes, Savannah. Yes, my last year of high school, we lived in a house that was behind an elementary school, and it was like the all of a sudden the sounds of screaming children, and it's very alarming until you know what's going on.
Yeah, I used to live across the street from a school and I couldn't ever find parking when school
Yeah,
was letting out because parents would take all the parking spots.
yeah, it's nuts. Stefania said we have only two entrances into our neighborhood that cross train tracks. If something ever stops a train on those tracks, we would be trapped.
Oh my goodness.
Is that widely known? I don't know if I would put that together. I don't know if I
You
would like in my head realize that.
you need an underground tunnel of some
You
sort.
definitely need an underground tunnel of some sort.
Here's another thing about the farm that we were trying to buy. There was no cell service.
Oh no.
And Neil's like the most cool, calm, collected like person that I know, minus when he's yelling and the
Sure.
neighbors call the HOA.
Make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, to make sure everything is okay. But he was like very alarmed. He's like, this, I'm very alarmed that
Of
there's no cell
course.
service because, like, what if there's an emergency? Like,
Totally.
what do you do? What do you do? I don't
You have
know.
to have a land. So is the whole area without cell service, or is it like this house is in a dead spot?
I think that, like, the general area is in a dead spot.
And I mean, that is, I can see why he's worried because if you're going to be
Yeah.
doing maintenance, and I am guessing sometimes you'd be up there without him, like if a sink falls on your leg,
Yeah. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up.
yeah, you definitely need a medical alert. Um, Oh god, when we first moved to Savannah, I had my window open and some kid was screaming bloody murder. And because I had my headset on, I couldn't hear it, but it got picked up by my mic. And a customer started asking me if everything was okay because it sounded like someone was screaming.
That is hilarious. That's
Samantha
amazing.
said, "You need to see if you can get Wi-Fi at the house." My mom had to pay
Yeah.
thousands to get the line brought from the street to her house. Oh,
Wow. Yeah.
oh,
Oh, here's another thing about my current apartment that I didn't know. We live near an Amazon factory, and
oh,
the trucks drive by late at night and the building shakes a little.
oh God. Oh, no. That's at your place now?
Yeah, because
Man.
the street is so narrow and it's all apartment buildings on either side of the
Yeah.
street. So the wind and the trucks and the speed, the wind just makes the building go.
My sister in Minneapolis lives like under the flight path of the airport, but the city bought everyone new windows that were super thick so
Oh,
that there was no sound
yeah.
interference. And I'm like, what? That's generous and
Yeah.
wonderful.
If you live in a place that's really busy, those windows come in handy,
They
especially if you
sure
live on a
do.
busy street, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's worth it because houses on really busy streets, then sometimes you pay a little bit less and you get a much bigger, nicer house and you just have to
Yeah.
put those windows in.
Speaking of the movie Seven, there's that scene where the three of Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow are at dinner, and all of a sudden the house starts to shake like this, and the train is going by. It's very funny.
Let's see.
Who's this? Samantha said they've been doing construction in front of my house for a year, and the house shakes some mornings at like 7 p.m., 7 a.m. Yeah, construction gets started so early. It's nuts.
Oh, yeah. It depends where you live. Like the ordinances are different. I think in Hoboken it's 8 o'clock in the morning, which is not that bad.
It's not awful. I remember working at the radio station. There would be mornings where I would drive in and the overnight construction was still happening. And it's so weird because they have those giant work lights that light up everything so that the workers can see. And I'm just like, the residents who live here must be livid because
I mean,
it's daylight. They're like football stadium lights that they
yes,
have going on.
it is daylight. Maybe they have maybe the construction company bought everybody blackout shades.
It'd be nice. That'd be nice. Gail said, not bad, but odd. We have a pair of eagles that live in our neighborhood right up the block. We're in the Tampa area, not common.
Oh,
That's cool. What kind of eagles are
visitors.
they?
Yeah. You know, it is wild when you see birds like eagles
They're so
flying in
big.
the air because their wingspan is essentially taller than I am.
They're so big.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, what are they? What's the scavenger birds that vultures? Have you ever seen a vulture like
Oh, yeah.
close
In
up?
Texas. Yeah.
They're so big.
Yeah. I was
They-
laying on the ground looking up and I was like, I wonder if they'll eat me.
Yeah. Oh, too big. Oh, so what's the kind of hawk? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? There's a kind of hawk or eagle or bird that's like, it's not a harpy eagle. There's another bird that looks like a dinosaur bird that
Looks.
looks like a dinosaur. There it is. The which one? It's this one. This one. This one.
Savannah said, I wish I had paid more attention to the doors here before we moved in. No locks on the doors because the house was so old. They don't shut. Had to get a hook and eye so the tiny terror doesn't run into my office during the day when my husband is watching
Wow.
him.
No
No.
locks. It's the shoe bill, by the way. Everyone
Oh,
Googles shoe bill. It looks
shoe
like
bill.
this. And it's big and angry and looks like a human in a bird costume.
It does
It's
look like
too
a
big.
human.
It's far too big. It's so big. There are vultures all over down here. They would also gather on my college campus. They're so big. My first time seeing them ever was a squirrel had died on the walking path, and they were sitting, well, they were pecking at it, and then when I got close they flew up into the trees, but they weren't very high up, and as I walked by, the tree branches they were on were just slowly bobbing under their weight, and they were just watching me walk by. And I was like, dude, this is real weird. It's so scary. Oh, you're muted. Savannah, shoe bills are scary, but the internet says they're actually really nice, but they're so scary. It's like when the pigeon lady in Home Alone 2 turns out that she wasn't scary, she was nice. Same thing in Home Alone 1, where like the guy, scary old man, turned out to be a nice old man, but in the scary old man body. Um Greens look like pterodactyls. They sure do. Are you back?
I'm back. I'm back. Bethany,
What?
shoe bills live to be 36 years old.
Really? Can
Yes.
you imagine like an old crabby shoe bill who's just done?
I would have died 2 weeks ago.
Yes, you would have. It's not a live show. You switch spots on my screen, says Samantha.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoe bills and then harpy eagles are the two birds
Harpy
that are
eagles.
Yeah, look up a harpy eagle. There's like the best picture is there's a picture of a harpy eagle standing next to a man, and it looks like a human because they have human eyes in
Yeah.
an eagle costume.
It does look, oh my God, what an interesting looking bird.
They're so big.
Okay, Google this. Eyelash viper.
Okay. Ugh. Eyelash.
So I learned about
viper.
eyelash vipers. I don't know if anybody has seen it.
They're pretty.
Who's the guy, the dad from Schitt's Creek? Eugene Levy, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. He's in a new show on Apple TV called The Reluctant Traveler.
Okay,
Because
cool.
Bethany, it's basically like if you were to do a travel show where you're like, I don't really like leaving my house.
Yeah.
So he visits all these really fun places and he's like, I'm not sure about this.
And he's just himself. It's not like scripted.
He's just
Amazing.
himself.
Amazing.
And he is kind of like unapologetic about how not outdoorsy he is.
I think we get along.
Yeah, he's like, I like the golf course. Where's
Yeah.
the golf course? And they're
Yeah.
like, sir, this is Finland,
Yeah.
like the most northern part of Finland. So I highly recommend it. It's a really entertaining show and very endearing. Like he's really, really cute. And he's such a snazzy dresser.
Oh, he
And
dresses great.
you can tell that it's not someone giving him outfits because it's kind of like a slightly low budget show.
Yeah.
It's literally his clothing.
Nice.
And
Good for them.
he's like so handsome. I'm like so attracted to him for some reason.
So did he see an eyelash viper?
Yeah, he went to Costa Rica and he stayed in a hotel that was a tent.
Oh.
And he's like, I've never slept in a tent before. Good thing this tent cost $1,000 a night.
Savannah said,
and,
speaking of the Levy family, apparently Dan Levy is not very nice in person. Oh no!
I need to.
no.
Okay, tell me more. Tell me more.
You, David, indeed, Kate. Yeah, Savannah, do you know someone who met him? What's going on?
Oh man.
I hate that information.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
hate
petting
it a lot.
Minerva, and I just found a giant hair mat in her fur. Wait, I may have to just. Can I pull this out? Are you gonna get mad at me?
Hi, Minervy.
Hold on. I may have to cut it out.
Speaking of TV, what has everybody been watching lately? Last of Us. Everybody's been talking about Last of Us. Just finished the last episode.
Did you?
No, I won't- yeah, Kathleen just looked up and she's like, no spoilers.
Did it make you cry or anything?
It is the most realistic, touching, emotionally endearing zombie show I've ever seen.
Which is great. I've heard only good things.
Yeah.
AFAB is catching up on Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote's a good one.
Let's see. I haven't seen any of these.
Oh, Joe said, I watched both seasons of The Alienist. Ooh, good. Oh, Molly, Shrinking on Apple TV.
What's that about?
It's about therapists who are friends, and Harrison Ford is in it, and it's a role that Harrison Ford has never played before. He's like a grumpy, like silly old man.
Yeah.
And usually he's like, brooding and, but he like you really get to see his like comedic side in Shrinking, and
Nice.
it's it's a really, really, really good show.
And the other guy in it is the guy from How I Met Your Mother, right?
Yes. I am
What's
not
his
great at
name?
names.
Jason Segel. Thank you, Molly. I
Jason
always want to call him
Segel
Ryan Gosling.
and the girl from Two Dope Queens that isn't Phoebe.
Okay.
The
What's her name?
Jessica. Jessica. Yeah.
Daisy Jones and the Six. Did you like it, Greg? And
I've
Lauren,
only
did you
seen
like Scream Six?
I've only seen one episode of Daisy Jones and the Six.
Becky, The Gilded Age. I did a play reading with the man who played the minister in that show, or the
Oh, you need to
father, or
watch it.
whatever.
You need to watch it, Bethany. You would like it. You would really like. I'm not being facetious. You
Yeah.
would really like The Gilded Age.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
I'm still actively pulling dreadlocks out of Minerva's fur. Got one right here.
Oh, Kate, are you talking about Daisy Jones and the Six? I read that a while ago. It was really good. Like, really, really good. My mom read it for book club and she did not like it. And she was like, this is what happens when you let the young ones at book club choose the books.
That's the one they just made into the movie, right?
It's a TV show
Oh, TV show?
starring Riley Keough.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Lauren liked Scream 6. I thought they did a good job. The ghost faces were a little underwhelming, but still good movie. I've heard things about
I
that.
wonder.
I don't
I
want
wonder if we
to.
can stream it. I don't want to have to go to the movie theater to see
I
it.
don't think it's streaming yet. I've heard similar feelings. I don't want to spoil anything. I've heard that it's good. Good, not great. Good,
Yeah,
not
but
great.
when you get to like the sixth installment of anything,
Yeah, but this is technically the second installment because it's like back after 20 years.
oh, I see what you
So
mean.
it's like number 6 overall, but number 2 of like this new
Gotcha.
rehashing. I have not seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I need to see it.
What is
'Cause
it? Explain to me. What is this?
that's the movie where Nicolas Cage plays himself and
Oh,
Pedro
that's right.
Pascal. Is it Pedro Pascal?
He's
Plays
coming up everywhere lately.
yeah, plays a man who's obsessed with Nicolas Cage and has Nicolas Cage. Nick needs money, so he like does what this guy needs him to. Um, yes, the one in the car. That's the gift from the car. Yes, 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 yes. Renfield, Lauren. That movie looks fascinating. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but I'm all about it.
Pedro Pascal is adorable and also incredibly talented, but also adorable.
Yeah, where is his? He's in The Last of Us, right?
Yes,
So I
he's
think that's
coming up everywhere. And a Marvel movie. He was in some sort of Marvel movie.
yeah, and Mandalorian. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that him coming up or him showing up in The Last of Us is probably why he's suddenly exploded.
Yes. Man,
Stefania, the list of things Nicolas Cage bought to make him go broke is amazing.
what's the
It's
list?
oh, he bought like a dinosaur skeleton. He bought like 3 castles. He bought Minerva. I do have to actually do this.
Oh,
He
okay. I
bought
have the list here. Do you want to
okay,
hear some of the?
yes,
Okay. He bought dinosaur skulls. He bought
nice.
2 albino king cobras,
Got to.
2 Bohemian islands.
Okay.
Uh, let's see
Stefania said
where.
he bought the Cobras, claimed for security, but rumored sex acts. Ugh.
Oh no. He
Yeah,
bought
Lauren, I think he owned the La Laurie mansion, right? In New
yes.
Orleans? What else? What else? What else?
Apparently he bought a tombstone, a pyramid tombstone,
That's his own when he dies. He's going to be buried there.
a luxury yacht,
I mean, sometimes you need a yacht.
exotic cars and motorcycles.
Okay. Does it say anything else about
$150 worth of $150 million worth of stuff.
does it say anything else about hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. About his
Bless you.
other, thank you, properties like houses.
No, but he bought pygmy heads. He bought shrunken pygmy heads, Bethany.
I this ma- I think this man spends money the way I would spend money. Like the dinosaur skull. Yep, I can see myself doing that. I can see myself
Yeah.
getting bizarre animals. I can see myself buying an insanely large crypt to be buried in when I die. I think there was a picture not terribly long ago that he had brought his new girlfriend or wife to his crypt. Like they were seen
Oh
kind of
my
like
god.
at his crypt in New
Oh
Orleans, just
my
hanging out.
god. I don't know what I would spend my money on. I mean, I would just be on eBay buying like vintage lamps all the time.
Yeah. They have amazing vintage lamps. My God.
I
I saw
mean,
vintage.
yeah, I Italian vintage lamps. Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah. Um, Stefania said, I saw some video The Rock did about his dog chewing on a squeaky toy, but he just casually passes by a T Rex skull.
Okay.
It's like when before Jamie Lee Curtis won the Oscar, this is when it was like I think she won the SAG award.
Mm-hmm.
There was a picture that she put on Instagram of her hugging her husband. And like in the background, you could see the wall plate of like 25 different light switches that like
Oh
they
my
don't notice
god.
anymore because it's just their house. But you can see it was just like this giant like plate. Just like wall switch,
Oh.
like all the way across. That's so many, so
I
many
mean, what
light
do they all
switches.
do? What do they all do?
Well, dude, it probably turns on and off the like microwave in one of the rooms. Yeah, Kate, exactly. It was probably one of them was for the microwave.
I think I broke my microwave this morning.
What did you do? Did you
I
hurt it emotionally?
I tried to poach an egg in the microwave, so I
Mm-hmm.
had a bowl of water and I cracked two eggs into the bowl of water and I
Mm-hmm.
just set the microwave for like 3 minutes and
Mm-hmm.
walked away. And then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden I hear
Oh, they exploded.
and the Neil was still there and he's like, what did you do? And I go over to the microwave and the panel has all of these like mismatched numbers and words and like just doesn't make any sense.
What?
And I opened up the microwave and there was egg like in the vents.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Turns out
I
you
for,
can't poach an egg.
yeah, I think yeah, it builds up. I think you got to scramble it. So egg
Yeah.
is now in the machine. Oh
Yeah.
no, no. What are you gonna do?
It smelled so bad.
I
Neil was like, I'm
bet.
going to work early. I can't be here anymore.
Oh no. It's gonna smell even worse when you get home, maybe.
Ugh, great. Yeah.
Yeah, Kate says
Yeah.
I would just get a new one.
Oh, speaking of not being home. Okay. So when we aren't home, we have somebody come and, like feed the cats and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. So the company that I use, they send you pictures of your pets,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
When like of their visit when you are not there. And I'm trying to see if I have the picture. There is a guy that we're familiar with who is feeding the cats, and he sends us a picture of cannoli in Neil's office. In the background of the photo is a vibrator, plug it, like a sex toy, plugged in, and that was in the rest. Every time someone came to visit cannoli, and she eats in Neil's office, there.
Is it clear what it is?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What shape is it?
Bethany, I think you know what shape it
Okay,
is.
so it's not like because some of them are like fun shapes. Some of them are like it's a teddy bear, but it's got a finger. Like it's not. It's. Can you please show one of the pictures that they sent you, please, please,
Okay.
please, please,
Let
please?
let me see if I can log in. And no, it's very clearly a vibrator. And
It's good for you for using a rechargeable one. That's good for the earth.
well, you know what? It's like, when you go on vacation with your significant other, I don't know why, it's just more fun to do it in a bed that's not not your own. Wait, trying to see if I can
Oh my gosh,
pull
that's
up the
so funny.
picture. And poor Dave, always sending us pictures of cannoli with the sex
Yeah,
toy in the
with the sex toy.
background.
There was one I saw like a selfie online of some girl posting a picture of herself in her bathroom, and in the back you could see there was a suction cup penis on her shower wall because it's like
Oh
you don't
God.
notice it anymore because you just see it every day.
Okay,
Um,
here is cannoli, and then
Cute.
and then here. That that's because before we went on vacation, I said, Neil, charge the vibrator, and then we couldn't find the charger for the one that we like to use, and so he charged the backup vibrator, but then he forgot that he had left the backup vibrator plugged in when we found the charge for the main one.
Oh, Tiffany's dying. Carrie is
Yeah,
dead. Kathleen,
yeah, yeah,
should we leave it on that? Should we leave
yeah.
it with all of
Yes.
us giggling and going into the rest of our day giggling? Thank you for your openness and honesty.
No
Um,
problem. Okay, well,
Woo!
everybody,
Yes.
goodbye. And now I'm crying over my own. I'm so embarrassed.
Have the best
Ugh.
day, everyone.
Yeah.
Um, Kate, thank you. I've already read Ninth House. Hellbent is going to be the next one. I have to read the next one. Thank you so much.
Ugh.
Uh,
Oh,
have a
Carrie says
wonderful
no
day,
shame.
everyone.
Yeah, no shame. Yes. Thanks for hanging out with us today, everybody. See
We
you
will
later.
see you soon. Bye.